Today, I want to talk about one of the biggest changes that actually turned something that I hated into something that I now really enjoy.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to talk a little bit about why I hated it in the first place and also get into what makes it so good now that they changed it. Before that, I just want to thank Spellbreak for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to continue my content career full time. Anyways, let's get into a game and talk about what is now one of my favorite things in Spellbreak. Hemwood. I actually managed to get the map first try. I didn't have to do any videos. So this is my first, or not any videos, any requeues. So this is my first game of the day. But Hemwood, I used to hate it. It used to be my least favorite spot on the map. It was just so boring in every way. It still doesn't really have like any cool textures or anything to it that makes it stand out from the rest of the map. But overall, I feel like the Hemwood Dominion map is the best Dominion map in the game right now. I really used to just not like Hemwood. I could probably say over 2.5 years of playing Spellbreak before this change that I had landed Hemwood maybe 20 times, and most of those were on accident because I let like my random duo pick. But even then, if I saw somebody on my team was trying to play Hemwood, I would land separate every time. Nobody would land here. It was empty. There was no loot boxes. You were just going in for a boring game if you landed Hemwood. And now it's not so bad. Now if you land here, I think because of the changes, there's more people that actually land here. Oh, don't look at me. I could have died there. So basically, yeah, Hemwood was boring before, and it was this same sort of biome. The same biome. Come here. A little dragon fire through the cloud, or through the firewall. Where are you going? Let me slap you real quick.
Oh yeah.
But now it's got a little bit of personality to it. It used to just not have any personality and was just a very boring, stale area. Now it's got these little under arches here. It's got so many different layers to it and different areas that in Dominion actually plays out incredibly well, because my least favorite thing about Dominion is that it doesn't feel like you get to have one-on-one fights ever. It feels like on every single map that if you're fighting somebody and it lasts longer than 2 seconds, that you're gonna get third-partied. And that doesn't seem to be the case for Hemwood nearly as much as the other maps. It definitely still happens in Hemwood, but not as much as a lot of the other ones. And I think that's because of all of these different level changes and because of how many different line of sights there are. Like if there's somebody on this point right here and I step just to the right, they just can't hit me anymore if they're trying to snipe me. And if I want to push them, I could push all the way around and I could break line of sight and I could play out of their view so I can be safe from them while I'm in a fight. And I think that's absolutely massive for the feel of Dominion. I think my Dominion games on Hemwood are my favorite Dominion games. And I think what it is about this, other than the line of sights, is that the points feel far enough to feel like their own areas, but not far enough to feel like you really are going out of your way to capture it. Like on Banehelm or Halcyon, there's that one point, if we're speaking Banehelm, that's like across the bridge way out in the distance, and you really have to go way out of your way to get there, where the other 2 points are relatively close to each other. On Hemwood, if you look, the farthest point is really from sun to moon, and you can see them pretty clearly, and it doesn't take that much time. I mean, I'm Pyro, which I would consider one of the least mobile classes in the game, and I can get from that point to this point pretty quickly. And I really don't have to overextend and do anything too crazy to get over there. I can also make sure that I don't take a lot of damage. There's a lot of different routes from one point to another that make it so that way you don't just have to run in the middle of an open field or just expose yourself to getting frost sniped just to get from point to point. What's also really cool about all these layers is, like, if you look right here, it's very strong for stone and also very weak for stone. If you want to stay on these staircases and fight a stone player, you're going to get smashed. But you can also jump up here on these walls and avoid the stone and just kind of play the fight that you're in, you know? If you're fighting a stone player, you can play up on the high ground. If you're fighting somewhere else, you can use the staircases for line of sight. There's just so many different strengths to this map that allow every single class to be viable and don't make it feel so overwhelming when you're fighting. Stone in particular tends to be the worst in Dominion. But on the points, stone doesn't feel too crazy. Like if you look here, there's not really too many long range areas that stone can hit you from. I think the longest range would be through here if you shoot this staircase and have it come up this way. But then all you gotta do is sidestep, right? I mean, they could still throw boulders and stuff, but they can't just sit on the outside of the zone and stone slam their way to victory, which they can do on a lot of other points in the Dominion maps. What's really good about this being my new favorite Dominion map is that if Spellbreak's planning on keeping Dominion as their ranked game mode or just a game mode in general, Himwood is really the only map that they've redone completely to fit Dominion. They touched on Bogmore, they touched on Halcyon, but it wasn't like a complete revamp. This was a complete revamp. They changed the entire map to fit Dominion. It's strictly built for Dominion, I guess is my point. And it feels good. So if we get other maps that are strictly built for Dominion, I think it's going to be a really good future for Dominion. I still don't think Dominion's going to be my favorite game mode ever, but I think that it's definitely headed in a brighter direction if this is a glimpse into the future of it. So I'm hoping with like Season 4, I'm hoping we get a really big map overhaul, maybe even a brand new map, and it can have different areas like this where the maps can play really well for Dominion. This map I think would work also incredibly well as an arena map too. Like one team spawns here, other team spawns moon, and then you fight, and then maybe there's some type of objective like over there, a big one in the middle that you fight over, and then a one on the other point. I think if they just build the maps specifically for game modes instead of trying to take Battle Royale assets and kind of bend them into a map that fits the game mode, I think we're gonna get a lot better game modes that are not Battle Royale. I don't know, what's your favorite Dominion map and why do you like it? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the Twitch stream down in the description below. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.